Hey everybody, this is Lisa and Nancy, and we're sitting in the parlor at Georges-on-York Bed and Breakfast in downtown Taneytown.
Taneytown.
Did I do it right?
You did get it right.
Okay, because we want to say Taneytown because it's Taney, but it's really Tawny.
Pronounced Tawny.
So it's like port.
Yes.
And it is fine. It is as fine as a good fine port. So Taneytown is in Maryland, and it's on the border of Pennsylvania. And we're just around the corner from Gettysburg, which is a national military battlefield, like a battlefield. It's like actually one of those unique national park units where it's an actual battlefield. And very excited to be here. We're sitting with Chris and Sharon Tillman, who are the innkeepers and owners of this amazing bed and breakfast and historic bed and breakfast.
Yes.
That was built by what family?
It was built by the Motter family over the course of the 1870s.
1870s.
And there's a connection to the Civil War and to Gettysburg because Dr. Motter, who built the house, was a Civil War assistant surgeon for the Union Army.
Wow.
So when he came back from the war, he came back to essentially a 2-story little tiny house in the center of town that he then built into this grand, beautiful Georgian house that we have today.
Oh man,
wow.
It was amazing, and the wallpaper is one of my favorite things about it. Is that this is historic wallpaper that you're not going to find anywhere now.
Yeah, this wallpaper was put in 1956. We found out, and is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, the wallpaper in the dining room is much older. We think that's as much as 100 years old, maybe older than that.
Yes. That may actually be original.
It may actually be original to the house. We're not sure.
Wow, that's cool.
The rooms are just, this is what's so cool about, lately Nancy and I doing all the bed and breakfast travel, is the historical integrity that the innkeepers are keeping, but then also being contemporary.
Correct.
About, there's things like internet that work.
Yay.
The internet, there's just beautiful contemporary showers and bathrooms and the beds. I mean, how did you sleep, Nancy?
Absolutely grand.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I love to hear.
Yes.
Really. And then woke up to an amazing breakfast. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Chef.
You're very welcome.
Really good. It's really good.
Listen, we had the best Benedict biscuits, with a hollandaise twist, and everyone were doing, you'll see a recipe video soon on that.
It was important to us when we renovated the house that we kept the structure and the integrity of it and really kept that history, but created that modern, comfortable feel where you could come in and sit on the furniture and feel like you were not at grandma's house, but maybe at your house or your really cool aunt's house.
Oh yeah.
So that was really the vibe we were going for. And
with a parrot head twist.
with a little bit of a parrot head
Right,
twist.
Chris?
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Yeah.
Not much, just a little. Just there's a little bit of me and Chris throughout the house as well. And that's one of the really cool and unique things about staying in bed and breakfast is you get to learn about the people who are running it. It's not a cookie cutter hotel. It's not a hotel with, here are some pictures from the local area, but everything else is, you could be blindfolded and not know what city you're in.
Corporate.
Exactly.
The cool thing about being here is that you really get that sense of where you are and you get immersed. It's like an immersion experience.
No, that's what we said.
right?
We're in cultural, not culture shock, but
We're going from culture to culture to culture,
I know,
like almost every other day or so.
Yeah, and we drove through Pennsylvania's Amish country yesterday, so that was a completely new experience for us. And then, and as soon as you cross over here into Maryland, it's like the architecture changes, and there's a lot of brick.
Yes,
a lot of brick here.
A lot of brick. There's a lot of German influence in this area. We are very much like. People emigrated from, like that southeastern Pennsylvania area and came through when there was a lot of German, Dutch influence, and they brought a lot of that with them. This particular house that we're in on York Street was built in the 1870s. So it had that Georgian revival grand sense. You drive around town, and in Taneytown here, the architecture is one of the really cool things about this town because it's got some of the best examples of kind of late 19th century early 20th century architecture in Maryland. It's got this wide variety. There's a beautiful brick Victorian across the street from us. There are these beautiful bungalows down Baltimore Street. There's just all of this stuff that's evolved, and it's a little city of really like this little, it's a little bubble of architecture.
It's cool. And you've got a few murals too, and then a barn quilt tour. Nancy, I think you and I got to do that.
Yeah.
Yep, Carroll County has a barn quilt tour where you can drive around and follow it, and there's a 10 or 12 barns with big giant quilt murals on them. That's something in Carroll County. Where we sit, it's really, really cool. And one of the reasons that we chose to be here in Taneytown was we're in a really cool epicenter of a lot of things. We can, in 20 minutes you're in Gettysburg, and you're immersed in the Gettysburg experience and the battlefields and the town and Adams County, Pennsylvania, and all that has to offer. In 25 minutes, you can be in Frederick, Maryland, which is, hip and historic, and it really is hip and historic, Frederick. It's got great restaurants and a great food scene and shopping and history and beautiful churches and all of those things. And then in about 15 minutes, you can be in Westminster, Maryland, which is just like a really cool downtown. There's great restaurants again, but there's all of this kind of farming and you can go to farmers markets and agritourism and really experience kind of that farming culture. And then
I'm sorry, this is really important.
Then we get to
breweries.
The really cool expansion of the winery, brewery, and distillery.
Nancy, there you go.
Scene that's happening all around us, where you can go to, right here in Taneytown, we have Brewery Fire, which is
we had a good time there.
Phenomenal craft brewers. Dave and Jesse have created this great space where you can come and really get it's a unique experience, but the beers are phenomenal. You can go to Catoctin Breeze Winery and get that's in Frederick County, and get great wines and really upscale award-winning wines in a beautiful farm setting.
Cool.
Then you can go across the border up into Pennsylvania and get great ciders. And explore the cider scene, because that's big apple country up there.
Yeah, I noticed that you guys like apple cider donuts and apple cider
Apples are big around here. This is there are a number of big commercial orchards, Musselman and a few of the other big applesauce and apple product producers have big corporate orchards in Pennsylvania, 15, 20 minutes away from here.
Oh, wow.
So cideries are big in the area. There are a number of distilleries in Frederick and in Gettysburg, and there are a couple of distilleries in
Carroll County.
County also. And there's plenty of breweries. There are breweries opening kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's very
and we are within a 20-minute drive of probably a half a dozen wineries and several breweries. And
when are we moving in?
Really.
So we tell our guests, tell us what you want. What is it that you do that you came here to do? Do you want to go hiking? We can point you to hiking trails right at Catoctin Mountain.
Yeah,
there's
that's about 10 minutes away.
Cool.
You can do that. You want to go play golf? There are probably half a dozen or more golf courses that we can send you to that we have relationships with. Do you want to do the winery and things? You don't want to drive? We can hook you up with a limousine company that will take you and go do tours. Is it history? Let us give you a map of the battlefield and get you started there and really help you start that journey so that you can hit those things that are really kind of the top level things, and then you can get a little bit deeper if you stay longer.
And I'm very familiar with the battlefield. I've hiked it a number of times ever since I was a kid. I've been enthralled with the Gettysburg battlefield, and it is a beautiful and special place that if you come to, it's good to know where to go and how to see it, more than just what you see on the auto tour.
So you've got to do the Boy Scouts trail.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts of America have a pair of trails. One's about 4.5 miles, and one's a little over 8 miles. That take you to a lot of the high points of the field, but take you there in a way that you see things that you'll never see any other way. The trail covers parts of the field that there are no roads, and you get to see monuments that to regiments and divisions that you just don't see unless you take the trail.
We actually have a book that we bought at the visitor center that is a monument guide So if you're here from a state or an area and you want to find your state or your area's monuments, we can find that in this book.
Oh, cool.
And get you to that spot. So we
That's
really
neat.
are, and that's one of the other great things about bed and breakfast owners and innkeepers in this kind of travel is we know our area like nobody else.
That is
That's
something
what we
we
have
found is that it's because it's conversations, right? That's this relaxed vibe here. But I wanted to touch a little bit on the inn because I know you guys did this big renovation, so you have good internet upstairs, downstairs, and you've put in a lot of heart and soul in the backyard garden. You have your own veggies. I mean, that zucchini, that is like, geez. What the heck, man? You could take someone out with that.
Serious stuff that we're growing back.
You're growing some stuff for sure.
All legal.
Just saying.
Just saying.
But and you have your own apple tree too. But the rooms are all named after the people that lived in the house, right?
That's right. One of the things when we found the house and started doing the research on it, trying to figure out the name of your bed and breakfast is really important, and it's probably one of the most fun steps that you take as a new innkeeper, especially when you're opening a new property.
Yeah. Because this wasn't an inn before.
This was not an inn. This was a private home when we bought it, and it had actually been empty for 3 years when we purchased it. So it was in great shape, but it had been taken care of, but it just hadn't been occupied. So I'm looking through the history, and I said, oh my gosh, every man that has owned this house up until us has been named George. So when you look for Georges
by George,
by George, including like an 11 or 12-year-old who was the grandson of the original George Mater.
Wow.
So we wanted to name it for somebody. We wanted to use that in our naming, and to, Baumgartner House was just a little too big. That was the last family that owned it. A little too tough to spell.
So I know Baumgartner House and
It's about 8 ways to spell Baumgartner.
Yeah, we got to be careful with that.
So we decided to stick with our Georges. We wanted to honor it. This is a grand home that 4 men named George have owned this house in the course of its history.
Wow.
That's bizarre when you think about it.
Isn't it amazing?
It's like I better buy this because I'm George.
And 2 families, not even the same families. So we have George Mater, George Walter Wilt, who went by Walter. In between that, George Mater's grandson, George Mater Cunningham, was the male heir. So after Mater passed, it passed to him, even though his mother was there, but back in the day, talking 1903, I think. Then it went to Miss Elizabeth, who was the Wilt's daughter who lived in the house.
Okay.
And then her son, George Baumgartner, was the last owner in the line. Wow. So no apostrophe when you're searching for us. It's George's plural.
Yeah, I know. Instagram wants to give you an apostrophe all the time.
Everybody wants to give us an apostrophe.
Well, I kept saying St. George for some reason. I'm just all like,
are we going to a church?
But the rooms are really comfortable and clean, and
and unstuffy
and
stuffy, and I like your products, your bath products. Like that's an experience in bed and breakfast is having here's a different shampoo, soaps, and all of that kind of thing. And our friend Linda Kassam, travel writer, president of the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association, same show as you today.
Yay!
I remember traveling with her and going to a bed and breakfast, and we were having this discussion. She was like, "Well, they didn't have their product in there." I'm like, "Oh, we carry ours," and she's like, "No, you're missing the experience." And ever since then, I was like, "Yeah, why are you being like that?" Start using the products.
Right,
but it does make a difference.
It does make a difference, and I almost feel like we talk about it a lot of times
talk about water.
It goes with the water better than what you may be bringing.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a big issue.
Yeah,
that is definitely a big issue, and we wanted something natural, so we went with a green tea based product.
I like that.
Yeah. In a really cute little kind of a mason jar looking package.
There could be moonshine in that.
There could be, but there's not.
Yeah, so don't drink it.
Don't drink the shampoo.
Yeah.
But it's it was something that we could offer to make your stay a little more comfortable, and that's really what we're all about. It's casual elegance, comfortable elegance.
It's cool because bed and breakfasts have really changed. I think every single conversation we've had with innkeepers is how it's no more doilies, right, Nancy?
Right. No more doilies, but this particular bed and breakfast it's post doily era.
Yes,
and it's very spacious. I mean, even the showers are really good size.
We were lucky. We were very lucky.
Very spacious compared. Some of the bed and breakfast owners have to work with what they have, and some bathrooms and showers are very tiny.
We were lucky.
This is not the case here.
When we found this house and started looking through it and planning that massive renovation, we replaced every inch of electrical wiring in this house. We have added all HVAC, modern equipment. The whole house is air conditioned. So the downstairs, each guest room, the entire space is air conditioned, and new systems. All the plumbing in the guest rooms is brand new. We built every bathroom.
The bathrooms are completely new. None of the rooms had bathrooms in them, so all of the bathrooms in the guest rooms are all new. All new plumbing, all new electrical, all new tile. Everything is clean and modern and efficient. And
we were lucky,
and it all works.
Really
it does. It does work.
Yay!
One of my favorite areas is your backyard, and we had a really killer beer last night. What was that we had?
That was called Son of Moog.
Son of Moog.
Son of Moog. For you Star Trek fans, you'll know who Son of Moog is. Son of Moog is Lieutenant Commander Worf from the Next Generation series.
And that's from Brewery Fire.
And that's from our very nerdy friends at Brewery Fire.
That is a fun place.
It is. It's a Russian Imperial Stout that was aged in bourbon barrels, I believe, and it's fabulous.
You said we couldn't have it until we came back home.
Yes, because it's 12.5%.
Of happiness.
Yes.
That is a sit on the patio.
That's a sit on the patio
beer. It was really cool.
And you really sleep well.
But you sleep well. But sitting outside at night was really nice for us. It's like our thing is to always go outside, and the little garden area, patio areas. It's beautiful.
And you don't have any mosquitoes.
That's because I wasn't outside.
Yes, Sharon has a mosquito magnet. Generally, she draws them right to her. So
I usually go outside. They all come to me. Everyone else is fine. That's how we handle mosquitoes here.
I thought that was my job.
No. Well, you didn't have any rum. That's
but to answer your question, generally, we do have citronella plants out, and it was.
Why.
Last night was one of those nights with a nice breeze that kind of keeps the mosquitoes down anyway.
It was just perfect.
It was awesome.
We actually took one of the things that we did with as part of the renovation was renovating the backyard. So we really people who grew up in this house have been back. People who own the house have been back, and they've all said the same thing. Wow!
Yeah.
The first thing they say when they get here, because it's so different, but it's the same, and they really love that we've done that with their family home. And before we even bought the house, we got to tour through with Dr. Baumgartner, and it was one of the most moving moments was to stand in the grand hall with him and talk about what we wanted to do with his family house, and how much he appreciated what our vision was. And that's partly why we're here, because he knew that we were caretakers, and all of the past of this house knows that we're here because we love this house. And and it needed to be loved, and it needs laughter. It's a really loving, warm house that just wants that. It wants people in it being joyful and happy and talking and
it's
gathering.
Just a great warm place.
It's chilled out, man. It's like you're happy here, and you're right in the heart of town.
Yes.
So it's like you step outside, you can walk right down the streets, and the thing about outside, and what I wanted to touch on too, was that you do intimate weddings and events, and I know you're expanding over with your barn out there too, right? Right.
We actually we're just finishing up a little project. One of our COVID-19 projects was completing the wedding patio. So we've built we have a stone building on the property that dates back to post-Revolutionary War times. Cool. It was probably one of the oldest buildings in the city of Taneytown. And right next to that, against this beautiful stone wall, is our little wedding patio that we're just completing. And it's a space where I can actually perform weddings here on site and in the area. So I can officiate weddings, and
Right on.
so we're really getting into that intimate wedding market and performing weddings for up to about 30 guests we can manage on site. And the patio and the way we've designed the patio in the backyard, it's built for that small party and that small gathering.
And a big bell.
And we
I've got that big bell.
We have this giant bell that was covered in grapevines when we first bought the house, and just in this mass of old ancient grapevines and this old grape arbor that was there. And we uncovered that, and it's spectacular.
You don't
Should
find
ring
those.
it at the weddings. I
Yeah,
know.
well, that's the
They're
plan.
hitched. They're
They
hitched.
did it. They tied
Yeah.
the knot.
Let them pull
That's
the
one of
cord
those
and
things.
ring the
Cool.
bell.
Yeah, we're gonna-
It's a beautiful bell, and we rang it for you
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
The Big Blend girls are here. Ding, dong.
An announced thing.
Do you do the food? Are you going to cater the food, Chris? Because I
We
mean, your
don't-
cooking is fabulous.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we aren't licensed to cater out of our kitchen. It's not
But he'll share his beer with you, and chocolate chip cookies.
right.
if we do any kind of large scale thing, our license allows us to serve breakfast to guests. Now we can stretch the definition of guest and breakfast to a point.
So we can incorporate, we can add, if someone's got friends in the area that are staying, maybe not with us, we can. We'll serve them breakfast.
They'll give you an extra
too.
scoop.
But we
leftovers.
love, one of the things that this lets us do is it lets us work with some of the most amazing caterers and bakers and people in this area.
That's cool.
And the wedding professionals in this area are amazing, from makeup artists and hairstylists to photographers and other things. The Monocacy Wedding Connections area is an amazing space for weddings. We've really turned this area of Carroll County, of northwest Carroll County and kind of southern Adams County, is a wedding destination for people coming out of Washington, D.C., Alexandria, Northern Virginia. They're coming down from Pennsylvania because it's such a beautiful countryside area that this has become a destination for weddings.
Within about 10 minutes of here, there are at least a half dozen sizable wedding venues.
Yeah, now I would say photography-wise in here, it's got to be. I mean, I can see the bride on the staircase.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
yes.
On the
staircase.
Stained glass window.
Oh, I love the stained glass
That's
window.
really beautiful.
I was photographing that last night. I was
Yeah.
like, that is so cool.
We have that. We've got this beautiful newel post lamp that dates back to the beginnings of the house.
Yeah.
That's just priceless. That's spectacular. The stonework on the stone building is beautiful. If you want that barn vibe, we have a barn on site. That's an old carriage house that was built around the turn of the century. So we've got all of these different spaces and rooms that you can find. We've got our art gallery.
Yeah, that's it. We got to talk about the art gallery.
The
It's
art
cool
gallery,
too.
that's another space. In our formal living room, we've built an art gallery really for local emerging and well-known artists from the Carroll County and surrounding area. And, we want to help promote this area so much because we are so much better together.
Yeah.
It's not just about Georges-on-York-Bnb. It's about Taneytown. It's about Carroll County. It's about Gettysburg and Adams County. It's about Frederick and Frederick County and Emmitsburg and
You've got so
the
much.
colleges.
Yeah, because you're the
So
hub.
much.
You're the hub. Like you can
Yeah.
come stay here. And I feel
We're very
like
centrally located to so many things.
There are 4 colleges. There's Mount St. Mary's University in Emmitsburg. There's Gettysburg College in Gettysburg, McDaniel College in Westminster, and then Hood College in Frederick. So you have 4 smaller liberal arts colleges and universities, highly rated within, at most
20 minutes.
30 minutes from us.
Wow.
Within from 12 to 30 minutes from right here. So if you've got a child who's looking at colleges and you want to see those, we are the perfect spot
you
to
can
go
do
that from.
everything. And the other part too, your setup, which is really nice to see for bed and breakfast for business travel,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Business travel, I know Brand
That's
Hotel. I'm
big.
not knocking Brand Hotels. They have a place in tourism,
Absolutely.
just like everyone else, and
Absolutely.
we need them, and we stay in them a lot too.
Yep.
But business travelers, a lot of times B&Bs aren't set up for that, but you have a desk, you have internet that works,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, this is cool.
You have access to
and
a printer
relax.
if you need it.
But it's a nice vibe versus here's your, for
Right.
this is nice if you're traveling, and especially as alone.
Yes.
There's a lot of women business travelers.
Right.
I did it a lot on my own
Right.
over the
Me
years.
too. I've done it too.
And when you go to a bed and breakfast, you kind of feel more relaxed at home and
More
safer.
comfortable, safer.
Yeah.
You also feel like you can have a conversation with somebody and not feel like it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once spent a couple weeks, 2 weeks,
2 weeks
in Austin, Texas, in a hotel at a conference. The only people I could talk to that I felt comfortable talking to was the housekeeper that
Yeah.
came in. I'd pass her in the hallway, ask her how her day was, just
Yeah.
so I could have a conversation.
Yeah.
And have that contact with somebody, or the concierge. And it was just, other than that, like, I'm not gonna, if I come to a bed and breakfast, I at least feel like I can sit down with people and talk and feel like I'm connected.
Yeah.
Feel
Exactly.
like there's a connection, but also have the good Wi-Fi and all of the business things that you need. There's a business center across the street from us. There's a gym across the street from us that we have a
Don't look at me
relationship
when you
with.
say gym. Don't. She just looks like that. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Don't. I mean, after
just-
breakfast
yeah.
this morning. I think
So-
what?
Well, the gym is right there.
So, but
And actually, I can be on the elliptical in the gym across the street and be on our Wi-Fi.
That's how good it is.
that's how good
That's
it
how
is.
good our
Wow.
Wi-Fi is.
So,
Cool.
but so if you're that a
Don't
traveler
make me go on the
who
elliptical. Fall off.
looks for those kinds of amenities, we've even got we've got that covered too, where you can take a pass and you can go over to the gym across the street, which is being disinfected.
Daily.
Said
And
they
twice a
give
day.
you a pass.
Multiple
Yeah,
times.
they
and all that
clean it
stuff.
twice a day,
So-
and there are stuff there to clean it after to wipe the equipment down as you use it. So it's very clean. We've been using it. I've been going to the gym over there for a couple of years, and
So that's been a really good amenity.
What's it like going to a gym?
It's your turn. You get to go to a gym.
No, but I appreciate that. I appreciate it all. I carry luggage. That's my exercise.
There you go.
It's there
Okay.
for the business, for the traveler who wants
Yeah,
that
and a lot of
amenity.
travelers do. And
Yes.
to me,
Business travelers
I can't wait to
especially.
get out and go walking around because of the architecture. And
Right.
to me, it's so cool that you're right here. And last night, I know you're downtown. You may hear some of the traffic, everyone listening in, but sleeping you're upstairs.
Right.
We didn't
was
hear
quiet.
anything. It was
Uh-uh.
quiet, so I want people to know that it was
Right.
just so peaceful. And I don't know, it's just.
Well, this house is a gigantic brick bunker. The walls are about a foot thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is a bunker,
and
yeah.
sound
Yeah.
just does not
solid.
travel in this house. And at most you hear a little bit of sound from outside because it comes through the windows. But no, it's a very, very quiet house.
Tell everybody. Yeah, the coffee. I want the tip because Chris is a really good chef.
Yes.
So I want the coffee tip. But watch Nancy's face. Tell her and our audience. But Nancy
Uh-oh.
wants to know, what are we having for breakfast on Sunday morning?
Oh, for Sunday morning, we're doing baked French toast and scrambled eggs, and our special bacon. And Nancy just lit up like a
Yes, we got 2 thumbs up on the special bacon.
which we sprinkle a little brown sugar and
We have a special method of cooking it. That's
and
our
it was,
secret our secret recipe.
So it's really we are widely known for our bacon, and if you go back and read our reviews, you will read about it. So
We actually have
Yay.
guests in that little dietary box that you fill out when you travel to a B&B, dietary restrictions.
Which
or
I forgot
stuff.
to do.
People will say, we eat bacon.
Yeah.
lots of
We
Yeah.
make lots of
We
bacon.
want the bacon.
we actually had one guest who filled it out and said, my wife is a vegetarian. I, however, am a baconitarian.
No, that's it. I like
funny.
that. That's
Yes.
great.
My doctor told me to eat as much bacon as possible.
See,
Oh, good. Well,
You are lucky.
and lying.
we'll get you covered. And our-
lying.
Lying.
I know you're a doctor.
And our
Sorry, Dr. Jackie.
I know.
in our farm fresh and local, farm to table mode, the butcher shop where we get our bacon is literally at the end of our driveway.
Yes.
And we get our bacon and our sausage and a lot of our meats there. And it's this old fashioned butcher shop, and
The breakfast this morning was it was fantastic. I would almost lick the plate, but I'm really full.
Almost.
Yes, Chris's Country Eggs Benedict.
Oh, that was really good, really good. And everyone, you'll see the recipe coming up soon in Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. We're going to have a biscuit feature with also a Dancing Moon Bed and Breakfast, and you guys are all partnered in this Still in Business campaign. It's in with two N's, it's clever. And we met, Annette and Trey at Dancing Moon Bed and Breakfast over in Northwest Colorado. They're in on the Pacific. Not Pacific, Palisades Fruit and Wine Byway. So we had a lot of wine with them, and we had the giggles.
All good.
But so now we've got they do sausage Benedict, sausage and biscuit Benedict. So you guys are different on it, but I never thought about Benedicts being on biscuit.
Biscuits, yeah.
I used to when I was vegetarian. I know he's going to laugh. Yes, but when I was vegetarian, I would have eggs Benedict, and instead of having the ham, I would use avocado.
Yes, that's a
So
wonderful.
we've done that. We have done that. We've done it on bed. We grew spinach. We had spinach in the garden. Spinach is kind of a spring and fall crop in this area. It's too hot to grow it in the summertime. But this spring we made eggs Benedict, over spinach, and we did kind of a California version with. We've done that with avocados.
Done it with portobello mushrooms.
Yeah, done it with portobello mushrooms.
We're really versatile when it comes to food. We are we talk about those dietary needs and restrictions, and we really want to know what guests are looking for, because we do
more chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, I can do that.
We can do that.
Can you do bacon chocolate chip cookies?
Ooh,
Sure.
that sounds
That sounds good.
But what we try to do is we want to accommodate people's needs, and we want to make sure that people are getting a great experience. So we don't want to because we do what we call chef's choice. So when you come in, we decide, based on what those dietary needs are, or if there aren't any, and it's just we eat whatever, we can construct a menu for that morning's breakfast.
Awesome.
And what we try to do is make sure that to the best of our ability, everyone gets what is really great for them. So if we're doing an Eggs Benedict for a group, we can substitute that biscuit and do it gluten-free, or make a gluten-free biscuit.
I'm glad you say gluten-free, because so many people are, need to be gluten-free. They have that.
We have been storing up recipes and finding ways that we can do breakfast for people in different ways. So we have a gluten-free biscuit recipe, and we can make a gluten-free vegan sausage gravy and biscuits, which is not made with sausage but mushrooms, and is done over a gluten-free dairy-free biscuit.
Good.
So it's really fun.
It's creative.
It's really creative. It was intimidating at first.
Yeah.
As new innkeepers, we kind of went, because we eat whatever.
Yeah.
So learning about different types of cooking, and
cool.
It's really been a lot of fun.
Well, you're good at it, and that coffee was spectacular this morning too.
Yes.
I was like, I'm awake, and this is good. You put a little sprinkle of something in there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of ground pecans. In with the coffee. Pecan.
We got a lesson from Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got a lesson because they say if you don't say pecan, it's pecan.
Pecan.
And you don't want to go
doing that.
Well done. Good catch.
Exactly. So anyway, but that's we do that with our coffee. It gives it a very rich, complex, and mellow flavor, and people do seem to love it. So it's not hard to do just those little touches that really turn something ordinary into something special.
Yeah.
And it's just it's kind of a flair that we have here and it's a thing that we do, and it's part of what sets us above, you know.
Attention to detail. You both have it from your backgrounds too. Engineering background, you know, your background in marketing, and it's all about detail. You know, so you guys definitely have it. I mean, even going to get coffee this morning, there's water with cucumbers, and there's all these different teas, and it's like, okay, it's something for everybody.
You're covered.
We're covered.
Whoever wants it. One of my plans for the future is creating a cold brew coffee bar.
Oh.
Because I love cold brew coffee. So, I'm trying to figure out how in the dining room I can create the space and the refrigeration so that we can have a cold brew, little cold brew bar. And so we're always looking ahead too. And, even though we've only been open since July of 2018, we're always looking at what can we do better, what can we change. We watch the reviews and we listen to what people are looking for. And one of the things that we really fear is becoming stagnant and stale.
I don't think you guys are too creative for that.
So we're really watchful and mindful, and we want people to have a great experience. We go out and do a lot of things in the area, what we call if you look for hashtag market research in our posts, because that means we're out having dinner someplace, going to a winery, going to a brewery, we're checking out a distillery, and we talk to the people who work there. We tell them who we are. We want them.
Everybody to be
connected and engaged with each other.
She wants to have a party.
I do. I am like a partnership
party. She's a party queen.
I love the idea of bringing people in and making this city better, making the experience better, building up not just our business but other businesses too, because we're really, in the end we are all in this together, and we are better together. Yeah. And I think if there's anything good that can come out of this COVID experience, it's that we need each other more than ever.
Yeah.
And that our businesses need to come together. We're really involved in the Chamber of Commerce here in Taneytown.
Yeah, you're the president.
I'm the president of the Taneytown Chamber of Commerce, yes.
Yep. He's Mr. President.
El Presidente.
El Jefe.
So we are really, we felt that was a great way for us to move toward that goal, to get involved and to really walk that walk. And if it's not just sitting here saying, "Oh, we want to partner with people," it's getting out there,
getting out and being part. You have to get that out there and be part of the community.
Absolutely.
Last question. I see that you're also part of the Maryland Green Registry, or
yes.
So we've done some interviews. One organization is Bethesda Green, and what they're trying to do is basically become an incubator for the Silicon Valley of green business, of people creating green products, eco-friendly products. And then we've done some interviews. Remember the book is off the tip of my tongue, and I'll have to look it up, but there was a couple of cookbook authors, and they created this beautiful book about this whole region, and they kept saying, you've got to come out this way because of all the farm to table and history and everything. So are you seeing this becoming more of an eco-friendly region? Is that a focus out here?
I think it is. There's a lot of farm to table that happens here. It's a very big area for agribusiness, agriculture, and agritourism. So the community itself is very much focused on keeping that farming and whether it's grains, basic farming stuff. Soybeans is a big product out in Maryland, whatever the farmers are growing. But it's also that like small batch, it's the pumpkin farmers, it's the apple growers, it's the the fruit trees and
everybody sharing
and everything,
the bounty.
Where we can all come together. There's a great distillery up in Gettysburg called Mason-Dixon Distillery. They actually grow the grain on the battlefield that they use in their products.
Wow, like drinking history.
That is and they grow it where it was grown back then. I mean, these are amazing stories that are happening out here, and we're finding those, and we're getting those things. We're bringing our guests to those experiences. How cool is it to?
I want to go there
to drink. To drink the stuff, whatever they're making with the grains, from the battlefield.
I want to do that.
I want to go do that.
Highly spirited.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, so you're dipped in history and agriculture all at the same time. So it's just this.
It's awesome.
This great, you know. So green. Yeah, we are really about that local. You know, using as much local products, smaller footprint. Our eggs are hatched a mile and a half away from the inn. We get them from a great family farm. You know, several generations.
Pasture-raised chickens. You know, so they're not. You know, they're not chickens cooped up in a cage, and there is a difference in the flavor in the eggs, and you can tell it. You know, here in the house, all of our appliances are high efficiency. All of the air conditioning units, everything is new, very high efficiency ratings.
LED lighting everywhere.
All of our lighting is LED lighting. We did a calculation. We saved something like $2,300 a year in electric costs simply because we have all LED bulbs as opposed to incandescent lights.
Yeah.
Cool.
So and we recycle everything we can recycle. We reuse our lawn clippings yes, we reuse our lawn clippings on the gardens. We do a little bit of composting, and so
we grow what we can,
and everything that we can, we grow and use in breakfast.
You guys rock. What's the website?
Awesome! Yay!
Georges-on-York.com.
And you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
and Pinterest.
There it is.
Yeah, you can find some of our recipes on Pinterest.
Awesome.
And also some of our decorating ideas and some of our
wedding
outdoor ideas and wedding ideas.
Yep.
And all of that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for putting up with Nancy and I.
No problem.
We love having you here. This is great.
This has been a lot of fun.
Now, are you going to let me slide down the banister?
No. And I have to tell you, just real quick, last thing. Dr. Baumgartner's son Jim was here for. He spent a weekend here back in the spring, I think it was, and he mentioned sliding. We mentioned having covered the banister with bubble wrap and a couple of layers of canvas to protect it while we were working on the house. And he said, "Yeah, we used to slide down that thing as kids."
I know. I mean, it's like I would.
Well, come on.
But I would also I'm the stairs too are perfect to get like a carpet and just slide.
Yes.
Magic carpet right down the stairs.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
We behaved.
Okay.
We behaved.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.